On September 28, 1963, just 7 weeks and 6 days before his assassination in Dallas, Texas, President John F. Kennedy made his last official visit to California to dedicate the Bureau of Reclamation's Whiskeytown Dam. For 5 days, President Kennedy had been touring the western states, preaching to the nation the value of conservation. A crowd estimated at 10,000 had gathered early and waited patiently for the arrival of the first president to visit the Redding, California area in 13 years. Prior to the president's arrival, the helicopters which carried members of the press and others in the president's party had landed on the dam. There is a brief flurry of excitement as the president's helicopter nears its landing pad, and some of the presidential party has to scurry out of the way. Then the president's helicopter cautiously feels its way to the ground, testing the footing first with one wheel, then another, finally bringing all of its weight to rest on the surface of the dam. The door of the helicopter opens. And President Kennedy steps out to be met by the official welcoming committee. Lawrence Carr, the Master of Ceremonies, Robert Anderson, Chairman of the Redding Chamber of Commerce, and Robert J. Pafford, Jr., Sacramento Regional Director of the Bureau of Reclamation. They are joined by California's Governor Brown and Congressman Harold T. Johnson. Whiskeytown Dam and Lake provided a near-perfect setting for the president's conservation theme. Blended into surroundings of great natural beauty, the dam is part of a reclamation project that takes water that once wasted into the ocean and uses that water to irrigate farms, generate power, improve navigation, and increase the recreational opportunities of millions of Americans. After a word with Secretary of Interior Udall, the president shakes hands with local and national dignitaries on the stand. The crowd settles down. The president is seated and awaits his introduction by Congressman Johnson. Then the president steps up to the microphone.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. My old colleague and your distinguished Congressman, Biz Johnson, Governor Brown, Senator Regan, Assemblywoman Davis, Secretary Udall, Senator Bible, Mr. Engle representing Clair, Larry Carr, ladies and gentlemen, Judge Carter, I appreciate the chance to be here in Whiskeytown and to say a few words from this distinguished community. I was reminded when I read my itinerary of a poem by Stephen Vincent Benet called American Names. And he started it off, I've fallen in love with American names, the sharp, gaunt names that never get fat, the snakeskin title of mining claims, the plume war bonnet of Medicine Hat, Tucson and Deadwood and Lost Mule Flat. And he goes on to talk about some famous American names, not Whiskeytown, but I think you could add it to the roster, because the name of this community tells a good deal about the early beginnings of this state and country.